Alright guys, let's get down into it. My name is Jake. This is Team Insanity's YouTube channel. The Die R2, we just gave it away. Fatal Effect Paintball just claimed it, so congratulations to him. So I should be shipping that out here pretty soon within the next couple of days, so should be having another giveaway come up eventually. So I'm going to get into the Virtue Bio Ascends. I'm going to go quickly over the GI Sports LVL hopper. I bought one. Kind of said I wasn't going to, but I was just like, I need a 9th hopper to go with all 17 of my guns. So let's just, I mean, it comes in a decent box. It has a rain lid. My first thoughts of it, I have used it. I did use it before it actually came out, and I was, I would say, not necessarily not impressed by it, but it wasn't like when I got it I was like, oh dang, I really should like go out and buy this kind of thing. You know, it wasn't like, it didn't leave a lasting impression on me where there was something so innovative where I was like, dang, I need to buy that. So, but I still bought one anyways. I'm not a fan of that they didn't have the color blue, so GI Sports, you need to get the color blue. I don't know what you have against blue, but blue lives matter. So at this time and moment, they just released some more of the new colors. I have the white and black version. I think it's pretty cool. I'll give you my first impressions from me playing with it. I played with it this weekend, or Friday, so a couple of days ago. Basically, so far so good. There's not a ton of complaints. There's just a few things that worry me a little bit. So one thing is the speed feed. It does, so the GI Sports LVL hopper comes with a speed feed ready to go, and you can also put the rain lid on it that I just took off, and it flips up so you can have it as a lid. So this is basically the only hopper that comes with a speed feed, which I which is really cool, because you normally have to pay an extra $40 on top of your $200 hopper to get a speed feed. So that's really cool for the price point. This is like 160 bucks, 170 bucks retail, something like that. So it comes in under like the spires, the rotors, that kind of stuff. So I like the price point that it's at, because we kind of need more in like the middle of the range. We need some mid-range hoppers. We need some more mid-range mass. I'm going to get into this in a second. So so far impressed with it. Like I said, the thing is with the speed feed though is right now it's still sort of stiff. It's like really stiff. So when I was loading my paint, I noticed I had to really sort of almost push the pod in there to get most of my paint in there. I was dropping probably 15 to 30 balls at, you know, you'll see in the gameplay footage where I was like really trying to get it in there. Still a little stiff. Hopefully it loosens up. You know, and I mean, so far it's not too bad. I mean, it's not, I don't have anything to complain about it. I just hope that there is some way to take this speed feed off. I haven't really looked into it that much, to where you can take the speed feed off just in case something breaks, that kind of stuff. So drive assembly is cool. One button. It is loud when you run out of paint, as you can hear. Slows down. You have to hold the button. That kind of made me weird. You have to, like, if you just hit the button, nothing happens. You actually have to hold it. It goes red and then it turns off. So at first I was kind of like, how do you turn this damn thing off? Because everything else is like one button. Here's the R2 when it's fully off. I'm going to let it go through its reload. Here's the LVL. Sounds like a pencil sharpener. Basically, if you guys know what the machine gear was, this is basically 100% like the machine gear, except not as cheap of plastic. I wasn't a fan of the machine gear because it was loud, and the reload sensor, there was a lot of things that was flawed on it. It was a little bit too cheap and plasticky. I think they beefed up the shell a little bit, because I did use the machine gear, but overall it's basically the same exact design, same exact pencil sharpener on the inside, but they got rid of that stupid reload sensor, which is big. Now my only thought is I hope the speed feed lightens up on it. My only other thought is when it's turned off and I have paint actually already loaded into it. Like, say for instance, if I stick my finger in the R2 and I hold it down, you don't hear it actually like start to spin, okay? If there's paint torqued in there, this isn't going to go anywhere. So then all of a sudden when you go to feed it, then it's, or when, you know, the paintball falls, then it stops. and then, you know, it stops every single time. And when you go to turn it back on, or if you turn it off, turn it back on, then the gear doesn't move if it's under that pressure. This is the complete opposite. That's what kind of scares me. I can put my finger in there. No matter what, it's gonna, it grinds once you turn it on, whether it's under torque or not. So I don't want to break it, but that was my big gripe, is that I had paint in my breech. I had paint in the breech of my gun into the feed neck, and every time I turned it on, it would do like a little cycle, do like a little, and then it would stop. Then it would sense that there was paint there. So far, I haven't had any issues. There's no broken paint in it or anything like that. So far, I haven't had any issues with that. But I wasn't using the most softest of brittle paint. Infamous and some of the other GI teams were using this at Cup, and it didn't seem like they were grinding paint. That's my only thing, is that if there's some type of really brittle paint and I turn it on and it just sort of blends that paint, I feel like it's going to try to force feed too many balls, and they're going to break within the feed neck. Haven't had that issue yet, but just when you turn it on, if you guys do buy it, it just sort of just does like one little pass. So I'll keep you updated on that. The instruction manual, and there's some others, so the instruction manual is up underneath of it. So overall, so far, I mean, it's cool for the price of it. So far, I've been recommending it to newer people that don't have the money for R2s and Spires and all that fun stuff. Because it does come with the speed feed, so it's ready to go right out of the box. It has a speed feed and a lid. Now, this is what a lot of people are wondering about. I have a brand new blue lens here. I just bought this, so this is brand. I have not used this on the field. Okay, so let me tell you, this video is not meant for a review. Okay, let me repeat that. This is not meant for a review. Okay, Team Insanity reviews, if you are new to the channel, I don't just pull things out of the box and put them on and say, this is the best mask ever, kind of thing. I actually go out there and I test the living daylights out of it. I use it, I make sure that I get a ton of gameplay with it, that I use it for at least 2 or 3 months depending upon what I'm using. A mask I like to use for at least a solid 2 or 3 months. And as you can see, it's actually snowing right now. So I'm going to try to go out and play with it next time that I go to the indoor. The only problem is that it's indoor, so it's a little dark. This comes with a smoke lens, which I'm not necessarily upset about. I'll get to that in a second. It comes with a mask bag. Let me open it up. It says warning and everything. So actually a pretty nice mask bag. So overall, the packaging is alright, whatever. Now, the reason why I bought this mask is because there's not a ton of masks in the $80 to $90, like the sub $100 price range, that are worth mentioning. You have the GI Sports grills, the V-Force grills, I should say, and then you also have the JT Proflexes. That's about it. That's worth mentioning. That's under $100. That's actually worth buying. And I don't know where the i4s are priced at right now. I haven't checked that. But so overall, this is basically a Virtue Bio. I mean, to be quite honest with you, this is almost a Virtue Bio without the 5,000 different stupid colorways on it. To me, the colorways is kind of cool, but I don't really need them. Doesn't have the super soft ears like the Virtue Bios, but you can still change it out for all of the goggles or all the mask straps. Same lens system, same basically everything. It's the same structure. It just doesn't have all the different colorways. I mean, from my understanding, it's basically a Virtue Bio. So that's why they call it the Virtue Bio Ascend. It just doesn't have the higher end, like the soft ear, that kind of stuff. The foam actually feels really nice. It's easy out foam from my understanding. I haven't figured out how to, I haven't really actually tried to get it out. Like I said, I opened up the box before the video and that was about it. So overall, and it does come with the chin strap. Most masks, I mean pretty much all masks do, but don't throw that away because you need it now for NXL. So overall, this is the reason why I didn't enjoy the Vios. Okay, so well, for one, there's a little bit of echo, but is it more than my grills? I don't really know. The grills do echo a decent amount. Okay, the grills do have somewhat of an echo. I I don't know how well the voice carries out too much, but for the price of it, I wish there were more masks out there. Now, for my first impressions of it, is that it fits my head weird. It almost feels like it's for people with like pointed faces, okay? Not like round, normal human faces. It's like people whose faces come to like a sharp, like a triangle, okay? Not really a triangle, but it doesn't really cup my nose. It doesn't really cup over here. It cups around the side of my face, which is kind of weird because I'm not necessarily used to that. It kind of feels tight around the temple and around my jaw, which, I mean, I'm not necessarily opposed to that because it really pinches right over in here. I mean, the foam is almost not on my face. I mean, it's there, but it's barely touching. I mean, maybe if I really tighten this thing down, but that was one reason why I didn't like the Vios, and I'll tell you why I didn't like the Vios. I mean, I still like the Vios, but yeah, I mean, I guess if I tighten it down, but it doesn't get to my nose. Like, it gets to, looks like I'm picking my nose. So basically where the foam sits is that it sits right up in here on my face. My nose is completely exposed, so it fits right here, and then it's really tighter on my temple and all that stuff. The one reason why the Vios sort of bothered me, I was actually talking to one of the Lone Wolf guys the other night about it, is that to me, either the foam needs to be thicker to where it sits on my nose, or it's too curved for my head. And because of that, because the foam doesn't really sit on my nose, all the hot air goes up to my eyes. Okay, all the hot air goes up to the mask, to the lens. So far with all the Vios, there hasn't really been a big fogging issue, but when I'm breathing heavy, it's like there's just this hot air that's just like a pocket of hot air that's just sitting right in the mask, or I'm sorry, the lens area, and it kind of just like, I wouldn't say that it just sort of is like weird feeling nothing but breathing air going up onto your eyes. You know what I mean? That's just kind of, for me, I mean, it might fit other people differently, but that is what I noticed when I put this mask on, is that it just doesn't hit my nose like I really want it to. So there's not that seal that's right here. Okay, so my other thing is that if there's not that big seal right here, is that I wonder how well it's going to actually take my voice and carry it out when I'm calling out. That's my one thing. So there could be echo when I'm yelling because I have all this open space up here, and it just sort of, your hot air just sort of sits up there. So when I'm talking, I can feel my breath. Yeah, that kind of bothers me. So when I'm blowing, I can feel the air right here, but I also feel a little bit coming up, especially right now when I'm talking. So with the air coming up to my eyes, it's like sticking your head out of a window when you're going 5 miles per hour down the road. You kind of are just like, you know what I mean? Like your eyes just sort of feel like they're getting dried out. So I'm going to try this out on the field. We're going to see how it goes. I'm going to change out the lens. I can try to do it on camera. See, this is I don't know how to actually change it. So it says something, press here. I don't know. I feel like it's the i4s because or the i5s, because it looks like it's on its own little pivot system, but I'm not 100% sure. It's cool that it comes with a smoke lens, because a lot of people like having darker lenses straight out of the box, because a lot of people, like myself, don't play indoors 6 months of the year because it's snowing outside. So a lot of people need that darker mask. I'm pushing, motherfucker. Just says push here. And there's not really any directions. It just sort of says lens removal. Okay, push the strap buckle forward, then press down the center. So if I push it, oh, there we go. Push here. Oh, I would have never figured that out. So far, Empire so far has it. Okay, so what you do is you push the goggle, like on the inside, forward. I'm gonna do this all in the review. You push it forward, and then there's like a little tab that you push down. That's kind of neat. I've owned Vios, but the Virtue Vios that we had, we gave away. So I tried to not use them just because we didn't really want to give away a used mask that we were sweating in and everything else. Let's see if that makes it come out, or do I need to... do so. Oh, yeah, so I do have to pivot this little thing over like the i5s, I kind of figured. And then oh, that's not too bad. So I'm going to remove this foam, or I'm sorry, the film. So yeah, so that's sort of easy. I had to look at the instructions. It's actually fairly simple. If you guys have them, you'll be able to figure it out. But I'm going to do, in the actual review, like I said, this isn't a review because without me actually going out there and testing it, I don't know how the air is going to vent. I don't know what the echo is going to be like. I don't know what, I mean, being inside, me sitting behind a camera, looking at you guys, I mean, I can only get so much. So the lens is pretty clear. Let's put the blue one on there because blue is the best color in the world. So if you guys aren't interested in seeing the goggle color, then you can just turn this video off because I'm kind of over ranting about the unboxing. But yeah, so we should be having a review. Like I said, give me a couple months. I've had the i5s for a little bit of time. So i5s are taking priority. I'm probably going to do that actually right after I film this one. There we go. So far it's an okay, like for me, I wish there was more masks in that price, in this price range. Need more variety, need more, because there's like, it's kind of like shitty masks, like there's like, okay, so there's like really shitty masks, there's like shittier masks, and then you go to the JT Pro Flex and the V-Force grills, and you're like, okay, that's basically my only option that I have if I don't want to spend $150. And then you go up to the Virtue Vios, the EVSs, all the Empire masks, the Dye i5s, all that stuff, and then you get into the masks that are over $100. You don't really have anything in the middle. Same thing with hoppers. You have really shitty, then you have like semi-shitty that's gonna feed your balls, and then but still sort of jam and eat batteries, and then you get like the used market, and then you get to like the 200, like you're spending $200 for speed feed and everything. So that's kind of why I picked up this stuff, and to sort of give you guys a first little view. Oh, that's a nice lens. Actually, I feel like the smoke is darker than the mirrored lens. That totally is. I might be able to use this mirrored lens indoors. Huh. The smoke lens definitely gives it a black tint. The mirrored lens is more like almost like a yellow tint. Now I'm looking outside. I mean, I don't know. I'm not at an indoor field right now, so there are some cool colors. You know, like I said, the big difference between these and the Vios is that you don't have all the customized. You can't really customize it as much, but you do get. You can order like the like I said, the straps and also the visor. So I'm gonna put this back in. I'm gonna sort of end the video. How does this? Okay, so that just snaps into place like that. That's that. Oh, so the lens is actually fairly easy to take apart. So that's that. Yeah, I kind of like this actually. This isn't too bad. So I'm gonna be definitely using this on the field here pretty soon. I'm going to be trying it out, like I said. So there is some echo for sure. I can definitely hear that. In the Virtue Vios, there's virtually no echo. It must be the soft ears. Either that or how it carries out. I don't know. I don't know how much different the venting is. I need to get a Vio with me, like side by side, or how different it sits on the face. So I mean, overall, so far for an $80 mask, it's pretty promising. I mean, the lens is kind of cool. So we're gonna see. It didn't come. It might be some like very little scratches. That's gonna bother me if I can't get that out. Yeah, I got it out, so no big deal. So yeah, the mask came in good. The mask and the goggle, or the fucking lens came in pretty good shape. So Lone Wolf Paintball hooked me up. They're the guys who sold me all this stuff. Make sure that you guys support your local paintball fields, or you won't have a place to play anymore. So yeah, that's that. That's sort of the new stuff that I have coming on. Should have some reviews and some gameplay and all that fun stuff coming up for you guys shortly, so stay tuned for that. Thanks for watching, guys. Yeah, reviews are gonna be coming soon within the next couple months, so stay tuned. Have a good one.